हरे गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदना व्रज जन रंजना यशोदा व्रज जन यशोदानंदना व्रज जन रंजना यशोदानंदना व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदना व्रज जन रंजना यमुना तीरावनचारी हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा हरे रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा हरे रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 रामा हरे रामा राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ राधा गोपी जन वल्लभ राधे जय निताय पतिता पावन गौरा हरि जय निताय पतिता पावन गौरा हरि निताय पतिता पावन गौरा हरि जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा शिला प्रभुपदा प्रभुपदा शिला प्रभुपदा शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोकैर्भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यामनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुकुं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Thank you all for joining today. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, entitled as Dhruv Maharaj returns home. Text 15. Tvam nityamukta parishuddha vishuddhatma
मुक्ता परिशुद्ध विशुद्धात्मा
कुतस्थादि पुरुषो भगवं स्त्रियादि सहा
आदि पुरुषो भगवान प्रियादिशः
यद्बुद्धि अवस्थितमखण्डत्या स्वदृष्ट्या
अवस्थितम् अखण्डित्या स्वदृष्ट्या
दृष्टास्थितावादिमखो व्यतिरिक्त आसे
आदिमतो व्यतिरिक्ता
त्वं नित्यमुक्ता परिशुद्ध विशुद्ध विबुद्ध आत्मा कुतस्त आदि पुरुषो भगवान् स्त्रियादिसः
आदि पुरुषो भगवान
Yad buddhi avasthitam akhandatya swadrishtya Drishta sthitavadimakho vyatrikta ase Tvam nityamukta parishuddha vishuddha vibhuta atma Kutastha adi purusho bhagavam striyadi saha Yad buddhi avasthitam akhanditaya swadrishtya Drishta sthitavadimakho vyatirikta ase Anyone would like to try? Tvam nityamukta parishuddha vibhudatma Kutastadi purusho bhagavan sri adi saha Yad buddhaye sthitam akhanditaya swadrishtya Drishta sthitavadimakho vyatirikta ase Okay, we will read synonyms. Tvam, you, Nitya, eternally, Mukta, liberated, Parishuddha, uncontaminated, Vibhudaha, full of knowledge, Atma, the Supreme Soul, Kutastaha, changeless, Adi, original, Purusha, person, Bhagavan, the Lord full with six opulences, three Adi Saha, master of the three modes, Yat, whence, Buddhi, of intellectual activities, Avasthitam, all stages, Akhanditaya, unbroken, Swadrishtya, by transcendental vision, Drishta, you witness, Sthita, for maintaining the universe, Adimakaha, enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices, Vyatiriktaha, differently, Ase, you are situated. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dhruv Maharaj is saying, my Lord, by your unbroken transcendental glance, I'll repeat, by your unbroken transcendental glance, you are the supreme witness of all stages of intellectual activities. You are eternally liberated. Your existence is situated in pure goodness. And you are existent in the super soul without change. You are the original personality of Godhead, full with six opulences, and you are eternally the master of three modes of material nature. Thus, you are always different from the ordinary living entities. As Lord Vishnu, you maintain all the affairs of entire universe, and yet you stand aloof and are the enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. Purport. An atheistic argument against the supremacy of Supreme Personality of Godhead states that if God, the Supreme Person, appears and disappears and sleeps and awakens, then what is the difference between God and the living entity? Dhruv Maharaj is carefully distinguishing the existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead from that of the living entities. He points out the following differences. The Lord is eternally liberated. Whenever he appears, even within this material world, he is never entangled by three modes of material nature. He is therefore known as Tri Adisaha. the master of the three modes of material nature. In Bhagavad Gita 7.14, it is said, Daivi Esha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya. The living entity, we are always entangled in the three modes of material nature. The external energy of the Lord is very strong, but the Lord, as the master of the three modes of material nature, is ever liberated from the actions and reactions of those modes. He is therefore uncontaminated, as stated in Ishopanishad. The contamination of the material world does not affect the Supreme Godhead. Krishna therefore says in Bhagavad Gita that those who are rascals and fools think of him as an ordinary human being, not knowing his Param Bhavam. Param Bhavam refers to his being always transcendentally situated. Material contamination cannot affect him. Another difference between the Lord and the living entity is that a living entity is always in darkness. Even though we may be situated in the mode of goodness, there are still so many things which are unknown to us. But it is not the same for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows the past, present, and future, and everything that is happening in the everyone's heart. Bhagavad Gita confirms this. Vedaham samatitani. The Lord is not part of the soul. He is the unchangeable Supreme Soul. And the living entities are his parts and parcels. The living entity, that is we, are forced to appear in this material world under the direction of Daiv Maya. But when the Lord appears, he comes by his own internal potency, Atma Maya. Besides that, living entity, that is we, are within the time of past, present, and future. Our life has a beginning and a birth, and in the conditioned state, our life ends with death. But the Lord is Adi Purusha, the original person. In Brahma Samhita, Lord Brahma offers his respect to Adi Purusha Govinda, the supreme, the original person, who has no beginning, whereas the creation of this material world has a beginning. The Vedanta says, Janmadhyasya yataha. Everything is born from the Supreme, but the Supreme has no birth. He has all the six opulences in full and beyond comparison. He is the master of material nature. His intelligence is not broken under any circumstances, and he stands aloof, although he is the maintainer of the whole creation, as stated in Vedas, Katha Upanishad 2.2.13, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. The Lord is the supreme maintainer. Living entities are meant to serve him by offering sacrifices, for he is rightful enjoyer of the results of all sacrifices. Therefore, everyone should engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord with his life, his riches, his intelligence, and his words. This is the original constitutional position of living entities. One should never compare the sleeping of ordinary living entity to the sleeping of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the causal ocean. There is no stage at which the living entity can compare to the Supreme Person. The Mayavadi philosophers, being unable to adjust to all this, come to the conclusion of impersonalism or voidism. So grateful to you for your presence. Please forgive me, I'm not qualified to speak on this topic. Here, if you see from that perspective, actually Dhruv Maharaj is having Saksha Darshan of Supreme Personality of Godhead. A 5-year boy who is just touched by the conch of Supreme Personality of Godhead is offering these wonderful prayers. I was just thinking about it. What is going on here is Dhruv Maharaj is sharing his ecstasy. In the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, what we are seeing is the ecstasy is being experienced by Dhruv Maharaj. It's a beautiful verse. Prabhupada elaborates more on what is the difference between living entity and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There was one time a new bhakta who was sitting. I'll probably speak little Hindi today. He said after the class, he was hearing about Lord Vishnu's Leela and he was thinking about, wow, so bhi rahe hain aur kaam bhi ho raha hai. Very beautiful. When we sleep, what can we do? At most, we can snore. That's what I hear from my kids saying that, why do you snore? So I have a problem. And I also have a problem. If someone else snores, I cannot sleep. So anyway, coming back to this point where Lord Vishnu is sleeping, apparently looking like he is just sleeping, but he is doing ultimate creation. And very interesting point, which is being in the very beginning of the translation. What is Dhruv Maharaj saying? By your unbroken transcendental glance, sorry. Wearing glasses, so I'm just blind by my material eyes as well as spiritual eyes, whatever could be there. So he's saying unbroken transcendental glance, which means Lord is always taking care of all of us. Prabhupada mentions one time very beautifully, like the bird, when the mother bird flies far away, she's always meditating on the children who are actually in the nest. That's how this is called as unbroken transcendental glance. We see here Dhruv Maharaj is ecstatically offering these prayers. You see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit, when they would actually discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, they would weep and cry. They would feel that ecstasy which Dhruv Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj are experiencing. But unfortunately, my situation is that while I'm speaking, there are no tears flowing my eyes. That's so unfortunate thing. One time, Shubha Vilas Prabhu said, he gave a beautiful class actually. And in that class, he was mentioning, yeah, how to do satsang. That was the class. He said one time a disciple asked, why don't we get a full benefit of hearing and associating? So the guru he was mentioning, he was out of box thinker. He said to the disciple, you go and fetch wine, liquor. You get it from the market. And the disciple was confused, but he wanted to follow his spiritual master. So he went and got it. He said, now you drink it entirely. Disciple, my Guru Maharaj, what are you saying? He said, but one condition, not even a single drop should pass through the throat. So he was like, my Guru Maharaj, what did I do? What did I do wrong? Can you tell me? So by his Guru's mercy, he understood, saying that he will put it in the mouth and he will spit it. He said, this is the same thing we do when we come in association or when we hear Katha. Rather than utilizing our ears and ultimately penetrating to the heart, it just remains here and goes out here. That is the unfortunate part. I'm just talking about myself. So, though Dhruv Maharaj is experiencing that ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, while hearing this katha, is experiencing ecstasy, but people like me can't experience that ecstasy because there is so many anarthas, and on top of it, the amount, the Shravana Kirtanam, the quality which we should be doing is not happening, and that is why it is not transforming. It is definitely transforming because Lord's unbroken transcendental glance is upon us. He is watching each and every step. While me, rascal, speaking here, they are watching us. What are you speaking? Have you realized this knowledge, what you're speaking? So I wanted to seek all of your blessings, and I want to confess that I don't have any realization, whatever I'm speaking about, whatever I heard from the scriptures. You see, even when someone comes in association with the Lord, seeing him face to face, seeing him face to face, like this bhajan which I hear, this Vrajavasi song, but I just meditate on this is such a beautiful aspect. When they sing this Madhava song, when they actually talk about, I cannot, what would happen when Krishna comes in front of me? When Sham aayenge? When I see them, when I see him next to me, I just seeing them, what will I do? What will I offer? Will I be able to stand? What service will I be able to offer? So the question here comes in is, when Dhruv Maharaj see everyone, you see Narada Muni, when he sees just for a few seconds, when he sees the darshan of the Lord, and when he disappears, he is mad. He's literally mad. And we will hear some other pastimes. What happens to these devotees? Same way when Shamanand Pandit, who is Dukhi Krishna, gets to actually be in association of Srimati Radharani. And when Srimati Radharani actually touches his forehead and then asks him to go back, he is weeping, crying, sobbing. Why do you want to send me back? I don't want to go back. Finally, I've attained your beautiful darshan and I'm here to serve you. Please don't send me back. But then Srimati Radharani says, you have to go back. And Dhruv Maharaj here is actually taking the darshan of the Lord and just thinking about what a beautiful sight it is when this discussion is going on. There are few pastimes which I wanted to discuss on a similar experience what devotees go through when they see the Sakshat darshan of the Lord. So one is a story of a Nanda Kishore. For those of you who do not know, and I was actually searching online, I couldn't find the reference, but this is there in Saints of Raja. So this devotee is actually descendant of Nityanand Prabhu, 7th generation descendant of Nityanand Prabhu, and people know about his glory, that oh, he is coming from such a lineage, and they are literally adoring him and worshipping him. Wow, he's such a great personality, but he is miserable. He's thinking about, as a sadhaka, he was very focused that I'm the lowly of the lowly. What is the point of me worshipping, being worshipped or being that glorified? Because he wanted to practice Vraja Bhakti under someone who actually has love for Krishna. But nobody will accept him because they will think, oh, he's a descendant of Nityanand Prabhu. How will we accept him? So he is miserable. And based on that, the whole disciplic succession from Nityanand Prabhu, the family tradition was that he has to get married and he has to make disciples, but he is not willing to make disciples because he himself doesn't have a guru. How is he going to do that? And at the same time, he is thinking, I don't want to get married either. I want to practice my celibacy life. But his parents were behind him. So one day in middle of the night, he left home and then came to Vrindavan. And when he came to Vrindavan, he came under the guidance of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur became his Shiksha Guru. And under his guidance, he was practicing Vraja Bhakti. One day, mother sent the servants, please search, where is he? Where is he? Where is Nanda Kishore? So one of the servants somehow reached to Vrindavan and he got to know here is Nanda Kishore. So he came to Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and he mentioned the situation, saying that please ask him to get married. His mother is crying. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur came to Nanda Kishore. He said, you cheated me. You concealed your identification that you are descendant of Nityanand Prabhu. And he said, then because you accepted me as a Shiksha Guru, will you offer something me as a Shiksha, like as a disciple? He said, sure, what should I offer? He said, go and get married. Now, somehow he had to follow that instruction. Similar instruction is there. Priyavrat, when he was told by Lord Brahma and Narada Muni, you get married because there is nobody to rule the kingdom. He is actually in Dhruv Maharaj. He's the father of, he's the ancestor of Dhruv Maharaj. Is that right, Prabhu? Is that right? Yeah, thank you. Huh? Uncle, yes, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. So, Uttanapad, yes, thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much. So, Nanda Kishore goes and gets married and he begot his son also. In 1873, if I remember the year correctly, he comes back to Vrindavan again. This time, he brings Nitai Gauranga's beautiful pictures. And he lives in Sringarvat, a very powerful place. Sringarvat is a place Shamanand Krishna Prabhu took us and he was beautifully explaining. This is near Keshi Ghat. And then when Krishna disappeared from the Ras Leela, and then Srimati Radharani also disappeared, he comes to this place and with wild flowers and all that stuff, growing beautiful flowers, Champaka and all those flowers, he decorates Srimati Radharani. And that's also the place where this Gaur Nitai deities are still there. They are by Nanda Kishore Baba. So he brings Gaur Nitai there and established them. And one of the king there of Jodhpur becomes so happy with his devotion, with his deep devotion, he actually gives the land and lot of property for the temple service. And then while he's doing there was one servant and he had one disciple. He has one disciple. His name is Bondu. We have heard about his pastime as well, but this is very enlightening in connection with this. So this Bondu means in Hindi, Bewakoof, is that right? We say very, very dull is that dull-minded. He apparently, from material standard, he is not intelligent, how to handle this material world. So he was living there, he was serving his guru, Nanda Kishore. He was very simple-hearted. One time he heard from other Vrajavasis, he would go to Bandirvan. He was just hearing, this is Madhuvan. This is happening, this pastime is happening in Madhuvan. And another forest is Bandirvan, not very far from there. So he would go and herd the cows in Bandirvan. And one of the Vrajavasis says, you know what? Nandalala also come with his associates there to Vraja and comes to Bandirvan and actually herd his cows. So he was dancing, jumping in the air, and he would come every day. His desire to see Krishna became so intense, he was sob and crying incessantly. My Lord, what did I do wrong? You are such a compassionate father. When will I see your darshan? Again, coming back to the verse, what is this? Unbroken transcendental glance. While he had that desire that he wants to see Krishna and be with him, with Gopas, being with herding the cows, his cows, Lord also has the same desire. So one day, Lord personally appeared. It was a similar thing. Dhruv Maharaj is seeing Lord Vishnu, and here Bondu is seeing Lord Krishna. And when he sees Krishna, his eyes are filled with tears. So much of joy, so much of joy. He cannot describe what the ecstasy he is experiencing. But he is so happy to see Krishna. And he starts herding the cows with Krishna, sitting with him, eating prasad. And days are passing. Every day he would very enthusiastically go to see, and every day he would herd cows with Krishna. One day he was going. So Nanda Kishore Baba, he was his guru. He's asked, Bondu, where are you going? And what are you carrying on your head? So much load. I'm carrying dal bati. For whom? Carrying for Krishna. Caring for Nandalala. And Nanda Kishore Baba smiled. Which Nandalala? He said, the one who plays the flute. Really? Can you tell me how does he look like? And this is these verses, which is glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He offered prayers. This beautiful, lustrous blue Krishna, who is wearing the turban with the peacock feathers studded and wearing the beautiful flower garland. He is so handsome. I cannot describe in words how beautiful he is. And Nanda Kishore, while hearing this, goes into trance. Oh, he can believe, he shouldn't believe. He's thinking. If he doesn't believe, no, that's not possible, because he knows Bondu will not lie. He never lied in his life. So he is telling the truth. Okay, Bondu, can you do me a favor? Yes, Baba. When you see Krishna, can you invite him to Shringarvat for dal bati? Sure, my Guru Maharaj, I will do that tomorrow when I go. And next day, Bondu, when he woke up, he's thinking about how is Krishna feeling when I offer this proposal of my Guru coming for dal bati. Yeah, dal bati, what would happen? It's already 8:53. So he said, he came and he asked Krishna, Krishna, you know what? Sripad, my Guru is asking you, please come for dal bati to Shringarvat. Krishna said, I'm not coming. And that broke his heart. He started crying. I just made a simple request that you come to my Guru. Krishna said, I'm not coming. I have nothing to do with your spiritual master. So please don't ask me. So he started crying. He started crying. And then, after some time, he moved his cows away from Krishna's cows and started walking away from Krishna. So when Nandalala saw this, he said, Bondu, where are you going? Wait. He said, I don't want to wait. If you have nothing to do with my Guru, I have nothing to do with you. Because everything I get is by my Guru's mercy. Dhruv Maharaj. by Narad Muni's association, what he achieves. He's grateful. He's grateful here as well, saying that without my guru, I cannot see you. And Krishna starts crying. And Krishna starts running behind him. Imagine the Devtas, even to the extent of Lord Brahma and Shiva running behind him, the yogi is running behind him, and Krishna is running behind Bondu, a simple coward boy. And then Krishna runs behind him. He said, Bondu, I didn't mean that. I actually was trying to say Balramji cannot come to Shringarvat because that's Radharani's abode. So how about you bring your guru? He's so sweet. He's being so kind to me. How about you bring him with dal bati to Pandirvan, and we will all be able to enjoy. And then Bondu wiped out his tear. He said, yeah, that is my problem because I did not understand what you meant. Simple hearted. So he went to Guru. Guru started preparing for dal bati. He prepared and came to Pandirvan. And he saw Lord Krishna with all the gopas, with all the cows. He's seen Krishna there. And then he just goes into ecstasy. He faints, and then Krishna wakes him up. And then he offers dal bati and everyone enjoys. And suddenly everyone disappears. And he again faints. Arey, finally I got the darshan. By this time, Bondu is already aware of this experience because every time Krishna would come play and disappear from there automatically. So he couldn't understand. And when he was in the trance, Krishna spoke to Nanda Kishore, saying that now you go and describe these pastimes of Vrajalila in books so that everyone experiences. So he writes 2 books, which I don't remember the name about. That is the experience Wundu is going through. Now, coming back to Dal Bati, I was just talking to our Tirthapad Prabhu, his grace Tirthapad Prabhu. He said a beautiful Vraja story, very meditating, very deep. There was a Bangi boy. In Hindi, we call it as Bangi, but in English, Malaysia. But very devoted. He would sweep the floor near Govardhan every day. And when the sadhus will come from the top, taking the darshan of the Lord, they come back. He would ask, "My Lord, can you explain me how does the dressing of the Lord look like? How does he look like? He's wearing a bindi today. He is wearing the beautiful white pagadi today." They will explain. And then on a Vrajaraj, he will actually create the same deity's experience, how the Lord looks like. He will create them, he carve them on the mud. Every day it would happen like that. His love for Krishna, his love for deities, Nandalal, became so deep. Now he started creating those impressions on the Vrajaraj without even hearing the glorification of deity. And when devotees would go seeing this and go take darshan, it will exactly look like them. That was his devotion. So one time, now there are 2 personalities here. So if I'm not able to convey, feel free to stop me. I'll clarify. There was another bhakta. His name was Govind. So the pujari was doing the deity dressing of the same deity. And he realized I forgot something, and he went to another room to get it. Krishna picked up a pearl, threw at Govind. And Govind picked up that, and he started about to throw back to Krishna. The pujari came and it hit him. The pujari said, "What are you doing, Govind?" हिंदी में बोला, "उन्होंने किया तो कुछ नहीं, मैंने किया तो प्रॉब्लम है." So pujari said, this is between you and Krishna. Please don't bring me in. So he became angry. He left. Another day he came, Govind. Krishna said, "Govind, what? Can you make dal bati?" मैं तो बनाऊंगा, आप कभी आओगे? आप कैसे आओगे? बोले, मैं आऊंगा. I'll figure it out. I will come. You make dal bati. Okay. Pujari closed the curtain. Altar closed. Went home. Krishna came out. And now this boy who is there creating those pictures, he's down. And he hears the voice. "Are kaanta chub gaya, are kaanta chub gaya, please, koi bachao, koi bachao." He sees on the mountain, Govardhan. Are tu Krishna hai. He's calling, but I'm not qualified to go there. How do I go? Krishna says, बचाओ please, मुझे कांटा चुभ गया, please बचाओ. The thorn, it's, क्या बोलते हैं प्रभु जी इसको?
Yes,
Yeah, it is hurting my feet. Can you please help me? Can you please help me? Now this guy did not know what, not guy, a wonderful Rajavasi. He climbed and trying to remove the thorn from his feet. Krishna is like, "Abhi bhi ho raha hai. Please remove it. Remove it from your mouth.
remove it
From your mouth.
using your mouth.
Using your mouth." बोले भगवान कितना कृपा दोगे ऐसे करके. Imagine the dust of Krishna, lotus feet of Krishna, everyone, whole entire cosmic manifestation is waiting to attain. Krishna is asking, मुंह से निकालो. Please remove it. Then he says, Krishna says to him, अभी भी चुभ रहा है मुझे शोल्डर पे लेके तुम मुझे लेके चलो गोविंद के घर. Take me to Govind's house. My lord, I'm hungry. Please, I'm hungry. I want to have dal bati. He brings to Govind's house. Now he says that the boy says, my dear lord, I'm hungry. I cannot come inside. I'll wait outside. And Krishna says, I will get dal bati for you. So Govind is feeding dal bati. Krishna is eating one, putting one in pocket. Eating one, putting one in pocket. Eating one and putting. So unka jeb, unka pocket is increasing on this side. Govind sees, my dear lord. He says, no, he doesn't say, my dear lord. Krishna, what are you doing? You are eating, the size should grow here. How is that size is growing on the side? मुझे बताओ क्या चल क्या रहा है? कृष्णा कुछ नहीं मुझे बताओ अभी वरना मैं तुम्हारी धुलाई करूंगा. कृष्णा नहीं कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. He picked up the and he said दाल बाटी. चोर हो तुम, दाल बाटी चुरा रहे हो. किसके लिए चुरा रहे हो? खा तो रहे हो. बोले देखो विंडो से वो जो भक्त है ना, वो उसके लिए लेके जा रहा हूं. वो भंगी है, वो आ नहीं सकता. He cannot come inside. So how can I go? How I want to steal for him. Govind says, okay, next time nahi karna. So he brought the dal bati to him, and Govind also come. And then Govind says, अच्छा हमको जब ऑल्टर पे जाना होता है बोलते हो नहा के आओ, एकदम क्लीन होना चाहिए ऑल्टर पे, और तुम भंगी के साथ आके यहाँ पे घूम करके आ रहे हो. अभी तुम नहाओ, टेक अ बाथ. कृष्णा सेज, गोविंद कुंड में नहाओ, नहाओ तुम अभी नहाओ. He was saying is very beautifully. I cannot say that way because he is a Brajavasi. कृष्णा से बहुत ठंड है, प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज, आई डोंट वांट. नहीं नहाओ नहाओ, तुम दूसरों भक्तों को कराते हो, खुद तो करो अभी, पता चले तुम्हें कैसा लगता है, करो नहाओ. And he forced Krishna to take a bath in Govind Kund. By the time has happened for Pujari to open the curtain. Krishna दौड़ के भागे and he entered to the altar stone. कपड़े सब गीले हैं. And then the water is dripping. The Pujari enters and he sees, my dear Lord, what is this? And then he tells, गोविंदा ना देखो मुझे क्या किया, देखो तुम्हें लगता है कितनी ठंड है व्रज में, मेरे को नाला है ऐसे करके. That is the mood of bhakta. That is the reciprocation of the Lord one has. Yugal Kishore Prabhu was beautifully mentioning another pastime, such a deep pastime. There is a new gopi who arrived to Vrindavan. She got married. Her mother-in-law says, never ever see Krishna. She says, I heard so much about Krishna. Can you? देखना नहीं उनको, बिल्कुल भी नहीं देखना. Don't ever see him. One day, she's standing out and Krishna is herding the cows. And she sees Krishna. That Nandalala, beautiful. This is Srimad Bhagavatam so beautifully explains when Krishna entered Mathura, how different people had different rasa with Krishna. When he comes to Dwarka, how his Dwarka Vasis are feeling. So when she sees that beautiful form of Nandalala, she's stunned. Krishna releases his cow. The cow rushes towards her and stops right there. Krishna goes there, touches her head, and then goes away from there. This gopi stood like a statue, did not know what is happening around the world, just being there. And mother-in-law, when she saw, she understood what had happened. That she has seen Krishna. That is a love. That is what Vrajavasis are experiencing. And Lord Chaitanya came us to give us this Vraja Bhakti. Came us to give this Vraja Bhakti. There is another devotee, his name is, like Vrindavan is considered to be, like Krishna is the avatari. There are many, many incarnations of the Supreme Lord. They are either portion or plenary portion of the Lord. Like Ram, Lakshman, Narsingha. Similar way, Lord's abode Vrindavan is considered to be the topmost. We spoke about that few weeks back. So here Jagannath, who is there in Jagannath Puri, wants to come to Vrindavan. He is very desperate to come to Vrindavan. And there is this Baba called as Haridas, Sri Haridas Baba. He is the devotee of Lord Jagannath, lives next to Yamuna river, on the banks of Yamuna. And he's such a staunch devotee of Lord Jagannath, always remembering him, crying him, waiting for his darshan. Lord Jagannath came to his dream. He said, now the older deities of Jagannath are going to be removed and the new Jagannath is going to be established. You bring me from there and bring me to Vrindavan. I want to stay in Vrindavan. So he goes to Jagannath Puri by walking days, months, and finally reaches there. So he goes to the Pujari, and there is a huge celebration going on because Jagannath's new deities are going to be formed. And then he says to the Pujari, saying that, मुझे ऐसे भगवान सपने में आए थे, I want to carry the Lord to Vrindavan. He said, see, I am not the authority. Why don't you go and ask the king? He went to the king. King said, the tradition is that whenever new deities of Jagannath Jis are installed, the old deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra are put into ocean. I cannot break the age-aided tradition, and I haven't heard this. Jagannath came to your dream, but not in my dream. So I don't know what is that. He said, okay, if that's the case, along with Jagannath Baldev deities, Baldev Subhadra Maiya's deities, my body will also be drowned in the ocean. And he goes to the ocean and fasts there and waiting for the dead when his body will also be going with Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. That night, Jagannath comes to the dream of king. He said, I told him to come and take the deities. You did not do a good job. Because of whom he is fasting now, go and beg forgiveness from this devotee. The king, is this an ordinary devotee? The king came to the ocean and he said, please forgive me, Sri Haridas. I had a dream. Now we will arrange all paraphernalia. We will arrange Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya to come with you to Vrindavan. He gave him a lot of charity, Lakshmi, to carry so that he can serve Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. So with this procession, finally, Haridas Baba reached to Vrindavan. And because of his devotion and he got the Lakshmi, there is a temple built there. And that ghat is called, where because this is next to Yamuna, is called as Jagannath Ghat, even today in Vrindavan. You can see Lord Jagannath Baldev Subhadra who are there personally coming to see and experience Vraja Bhakti. Supreme Lord himself wants to come there to actually experience what is going on. So coming back to this beautiful pastime, here Dhruv Maharaj is glorifying Supreme Personality of Godhead and actually putting henceforth the differentiation, at least for Mayavadi, what is the difference between a Jiva and Supreme Lord. And he is clarifying, putting different points, talking about how Supreme Personality of Godhead is different. On a similar plane, son of Mukunda, whose name is Raghunandan. One time Mukunda is going out, he told Raghunandan, you offer to Radha Gopinath deities, you offer bhoga. So his mother made Rajbhog offering. He went with the offering, offered it to Gopinath. Eat, eat. He did not know any mantras. Eat, eat. Lord is saying, I ate. Because he was crying, why not eat? So he said, I ate. I eat with my glance. Angani yasya sakalendra vriti manti pashanti panti kalayanti chiram jaganti. I eat from any of my senses. My Lord, I don't understand any of that stuff. My mother is going to beat me. You have to eat. Gopinath came and ate. After a lot of time has passed, mother is waiting. What had happened? He came with the empty plate. Raghunandan, where is the prasad? Gopinath ate. You asked me to eat. Gopinath ate or you ate? I didn't eat. Gopinath ate. The mother was puzzled. And anyway, by this time, Mukunda also came. Prasad. There is no prasad today. अरे किधर गया प्रसाद बनाया था? Ask your son Raghunandan. So he asked Raghunandan, Raghunandan, what happened? He's just a 5-year boy. He said, what happened? भगवान को ऑफर किया, गोपीनाथ ने खा लिया. He ate. Really? Okay. So he asked his wife, make laddu now. And ask Raghunandan to offer. I have to go somewhere. So Raghunandan takes that laddu, directly puts in the hand of Krishna. Why the plate? Took the plate and gave it in the hand of Krishna. Gopinath, eat. And Krishna was thinking, अरे वापिस रोएंगे, let me eat. खाने लगे. Mukunda was watching from the corner. And उनके मुंह से आवाज आया. Krishna heard. Gopinath immediately हाथ ऐसे कर दिए. और Raghunandan also saw. Even today, when you go there, you actually see that half laddu in the hand of Krishna, who actually accepted the offer of Raghunandan. There's a beautiful aspect when Lord Chaitanya is meeting Mukunda, Narahari Sarkar, who is actually the younger brother of Mukunda, and son Raghunandan. He gives 3 different instructions to all of them. For Mukunda, he says, you continue whatever mundane material duty you are working, along with that, you practice spiritual life. Narahari Sarkar, he tells him, you come to Jagannath Puri, stay with me and preach. But remain brahmachari. And Raghunandan, you do deity worship. From Lord's perspective, from that unbroken transcendental glance, is there on everyone. But based on our inclination, the Guru or Krishna is involving us into various services. Not everyone can do it. Like for an example, when I see Sunday feast cooking, that such a luxurious plate, when they make so many things, I get goosebumps. How can someone make like that? Because that is Radharani's mercy on these devotees. They are able to actually make that. And Prasadam is considered, our temple's Prasadam, Radha Gopijana Vallabha's Prasadam is considered to be topmost because so many people come, "Are ISKCON ka prasad bahut acha hota hai." What is Krishna testing? What is Radha Gopijana Vallabha's testing? They are testing actually the love which is being poured by all these devotees working on it. When we all come together, I just see Bhagavat Acharya Prabhu, Sham Kishore Prabhu, so many devotees. They discuss what has to be done, what prasadam has to be made, what is going good, what is going wrong, what are the areas we have to improve upon. I have no idea about there is something like that happens. और people think or devotees think अरे इधर तो पैसा मंदिर से ऊपर से गिरता है. No, there is so much of financial crisis temple is going through. In spite of he just loving here, coming here, eating a plate, no one realizes what happens behind the scene. I was so amazed how much effort and work has been put in behind the scene by all these wonderful souls. Just making sure everyone is getting proper plate, everyone is comforted. Nobody has any idea what happens behind. Like I remember most of the time we would ideally go for 1 or 2 days in a temple because otherwise weekday. Here pretty much all 7 days every time you get prasad. I just had Saturday class and I was like, prasad kahan se lo? Because that's an odd time. Prabhu said, no, we have to offer prasad. Whatever is needed. If they have a diet construction, we will make that. Wow. Not thinking that, oh, there is a financial crisis. But the love of devotees is pouring. How can we serve devotees? So this is the similar thing which Dhruv Maharaj is pouring his heart, pouring his love, glorifying Krishna. What is in it for us? In it, what we have is actually to understand there is much more sublime activities which we can perform and meditate on these pastimes rather than being so caught up, which I talked in last class. Let's help each other to remember, practice that Vraja Bhakti, even though we are living thousands miles away from it. That is the crux of Bhakti. Otherwise, it just becomes a social gathering which we don't want. So with that, please forgive me if I spoken something wrong. To summarize, we talked about the story of Bondu, how he attained the beautiful darshan of the Lord. His Nanda Kishore, his guru, actually got to serve dal bati. We also spoke the story of this boy who is Malaysia, who's Bangi, and Govind, how they have reciprocation with the Lord. We spoke about Haridas ji, how he brought Jagannath to Vrindavan. With this devotion, Lord personally appeared. We discussed the love of Raghunandan that he is willing to offer. He is crying that Lord has to accept. So, with that, I would like to end here. Any questions or comments? Yes, Prabhuji. Myself is not there, Prabhu. I'm trying.
Before when you were telling about our Vrindavan, I'm physically present here, but my heart was over there. I was roaming around this locations you are telling, but I don't know most of them. A few of them I have seen, but amazing. One thing I want to know little bit like, obviously I was not born in Vrindavan, but even though I don't have much love on Lord, but I want to know how to develop that bhakti. Like I'm not connected probably because I'm conditioned soul. But listening to the classes, I'm able to connect it. But keep on connecting more and more. What needs to be done? Like reading Braja stories or what can be done?
Prabhu, I'm myself struggling. Sham Kishore Prabhu, Bhagavat Acharya Prabhu is there. You want to add something? Sham Kishore Prabhu. Please, please. Please, please. They always meditate on Vrindavan. They always think about Vrindavan. When I think about how to attain that, this is a very interesting aspect which I realize in Bhakti. Vraja Bhakti is not attained, it is awarded. No one can actually experience what Vrajavasis are thinking about. When I'm speaking, I'll tell you how Tirthapad Prabhu came to this story. We were there in birthday party and then sitting in the corner. I was just telling him, कभी दर्शन होंगे भगवान के फंस गया हूँ इधर क्या फंसे पड़े हैं सुबह से इसमें ये there is nothing left in life what to do and that's where he said I was just amazed Krishna is there watching you he's there with you always मैं समझा नहीं I'll be very honest and that's where he showed this told me this pastime so what I understood based on these pastimes there is a higher rasa which is there when we cry to Krishna, when we cry to his representative of Krishna, when we try to please his representative, when we please the devotees, then the Vraja Bhakti is offered. When Shaman and Krishna Prabhu, I went to Vrindavan multiple times. I want to be very honest. Multiple yatras Maharaj took. One time he was telling in Fogla Ashram, which is one of the biggest places at that time. Now I don't know where is that. He was telling Krishna is here. along with all the sakhas herding the cows मैं इधर उधर देख रहा हूँ मुझे तो दिख ही नहीं रहा है neither I can see it today but he is seeing with his eyes but never understood Vrindavan was a different place for me but when Shaman and Krishna Prabhu took us there and took us to these places Shringarwad the moment I heard and I was immediately transported that beautiful small corridor and thinking about this is where Krishna is coming with Srimati Radharani or he is taking us to Yamuna when we are taking a bath just across the river. I didn't share in the previous class. He's telling that pastime about Ras Leela, what is happening there, and how is Krishna is leaving. Can you imagine? You're on the opposite side of Yamuna, and you have that place just next to your eyes, seeing this is where Krishna came from. This is where they had that pastime. This is where Krishna left. We were literally experiencing that. Not that we had a qualification, but he gave those eyes. So what I realized is ultimately we have to beg and cry to them. We have to beg and cry to some Vrajavasis who actually not and Prabhu when he came, what Hari Parshad Prabhu. What an explanation. He was explaining. When I say Vrajavasis, not that they took a birth in Vraja, not just Vrajavasis that way. He clarified Vrajavasis as the mood of Vrajavasis. And he was just mentioning about that. That is my small understanding, Prabhu. I am myself struggling and crying for that day when I will understand what Vrajabhumi is all about. and all that stuff. Anyone wants to add? Prabhu? Thank you. Thank you for the night question. Little. So it's one part of it, the another part is the Shringar Road. It's the same place, Prabhuji. No, they go ahead, Prabhu. उसके साथ में ही है ना प्रभु जी? Yes, then I'm misleading. It's I think they are close by but not same. Is that right, Prabhuji? Yeah, then I'm mixing two things then. Please forgive me. Yeah, we three were together, but yeah, they are two. I was just saying a wrong information. They are just next to each other, but they are little far from there for sure. Yeah. Prabhuji? Yeah, 100 meters, but they are two different places because I was just there was some confusion on that. But thank you for clarifying that piece.
Sringarwad is also the place where Nityananda stayed.
Yeah.
Yes. Correct. And Nityanand Prabhu stayed there. And that's the place, Sringarwad, where Gopas would decorate Krishna. After they herd the cows, they will actually decorate Krishna, Sringarwad. That's also there, and this is the second part, which is where Krishna is also being decorated by all the Gopas with flowers. So it's already 9:21. Please forgive me for going over time.
Prabhu, there is a place where every year it is there are some plants where like earlier we are not allowed. We can see through the cage, but we are not allowed to enter inside. That is what one
Nidhivan, yes.
What is special about it?
Prabhu will tell you. We can take it offline. I don't know much. He would tell you better.
Nobody there on the day. I was curious that day, but nobody.
After evening, we are not allowed to go there. They close that now.
Yeah, correct.
He'll be able to tell you better. He is from Rajavasis, Prabhu. Thank you so much. La Prabhupada ki jai. Dandavat Pram. Thank you all. Hare Krishna. I'm ending the class now. Thank you.
Thank you so much.